Okay, that's as much as I'm going to play of that for YouTube copyright reasons. But anyway, this is Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. I'm Luke, and you just have to imagine the beautiful score going on in the background. I'm hearing it, you're not hearing it. So this game just came out an hour ago, and I'm giving it a try. I tried the demo, so I don't know if this is going to become a series that I actually complete or not. It really depends on how much I'm enjoying the game, and also how it's doing on the channel. So if you enjoy and you want to see more, let me know, or leave a like or something like that, so that I know that we want more. Often when I do something other than Kerbal, it's completely dead on the channel, so we'll see. Speaking of Kerbal Space Program, if you're a returning viewer, those episodes are coming. I have been busy with work, so they've been happening very slowly, and I'm waiting for an opportunity to make a bunch again. It takes more brain power and more time than a recording like this, so I will get to them, but I'm going to play Voyager while I have the time this weekend. So, let me fiddle with settings for a second. Ooh, streamer mode. That's fantastic. Wait, come back. There we go. On. That's perfect. Cool. Now I can turn the music back on. I'm going to fiddle with settings for a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay. So what I wanted to say is, while I am a Star Trek fan, and while I did watch Voyager pretty much all the way through as a kid, I would not describe myself as a Star Trek Voyager fan. I don't like complaining about things or being mean about things on the internet, so I'm not going to elaborate why, but basically I am not playing this game to enjoy the retelling of the story of Star Trek Voyager. There's a lot of frustration there. Actually, one of the things I'm most hopeful about for this game might be, because there's survival elements, having a sense that Voyager is actually struggling a bit with survival as it goes through the Delta Quadrant, because I didn't get that impression from the show. So we will see. From the demo, it's very much a choose your own adventure game that follows the story of the episodes very closely. We'll see how long that stays engaging. I'm hoping for a fun survival strategy game underneath it, but I don't know. Based on the demo, I don't know whether that's happening, because it was all tutorial, so we'll see. All right, the menu is restarting, so it's telling me to hurry up. So let's get going. I'm going to start a new game. I've already played through the beginning, but I also want to say I'm going to skip through some of the story stuff and might edit things. So if you're looking for a contiguous story all the way through, sorry. You're not going to be confused what's happening, though. I'll do survival.
So, a few days back, this Captain Janeway breezes into my cozy penal colony like she owns the place. She's stern and smells like coffee and regulations. And the kicker? She's served with my old man on the Albatani. Turns out her security chief, Tuvok, was playing spy on a Maquis ship that vanished in the Badlands.
Look, the shuttle's flying in a circle around the ship.
And because of my past associations, I'm apparently the resident expert on the Badlands. I find the missing Maquis. She puts in a good word for me at my next parole.
It's Starfleet tradition.
Still, the view is
to fly in a complete circle around the ship before you actually go inside.
Seat on a brand new Intrepid class
also, the shuttle bay door was not open when the shuttle flew in.
The USS Voyager might even get to touch the helm.
The classic tilts. The classic variable geometry warp. The folding warp nacelles. All right. Okay, I'm gonna read some of this, but not all of this. We're getting a welcome. Ensign Kim is here. He's ready for duty, and we met Tom. He was sent to a penal colony in New Zealand. I don't know why we're sending people to New Zealand for a penal colony. That's not punishment. Like, can I be arrested and go to New Zealand? This is the captain. Report to your stations. All right. Everybody's at their stations. We're going to the Badlands. This is just the plot of the first of the pilot episode. Into the Badlands, a treacherous region of space. So we're looking for the missing Maquis. If you're not a Star Trek person, the Maquis are kind of like... They're like a paramilitary organization on the borders of Starfleet and Cardassian territory, and they're causing trouble. We don't pick anything up. this isn't going to matter because we're going to detect a coherent tetryon beam and a displacement wave. Okay. A colossal wave surges towards Voyager. Plot is coming. 5, 4, 3, 2. Brace for impact. Aftermath. As the crew regains consciousness, they find their bridge in total devastation. What just happened? Plot. Look, there's beams that appeared out of the ceiling. Damage report. I'm only being as I'm skipping through this as fast as I am because I literally just played this, but she calls the doctor, but there is no doctor. We're losing systems across multiple decks. The deuterium tanks are empty. Warp cores gone to gray mode. We're on reserves. So this is a slightly alternate version of Voyager where more people die and the ship is more broken than it was in the show. So that sets us up for survival. We need to scan for deuterium. But we don't have sensors, so we have to repair stellar cartography. And here we get the ant farm. We need stellar cartography back online now. Click the question mark. Activate stellar cartography. Okay, so this is Voyager. I love this. This is the thing that made me want to get this game, actually. So here's the back of the wall display of Voyager. And everything that isn't lit up is basically ruined. Everything that's red is broken. All this stuff are just rubble. So it's like, the XCOM Ant Farm games where you have to, excavate out the ruined rooms, and thankfully the bridge survived, yeesh. Alright, so it wants us to repair stellar cartography, which is on deck something. 7, 8, 9, 10. Deck 10. We're going to switch it on. We're not in the Badlands anymore. Toto. We're next to this thingy-mabobber. Oh, look, my mouse can make... It's Star Trek. It's telling me where my mouse is. Look at that. Okay. Where are we? We just jumped over 70,000 light years into the Delta Quadrant. Life support systems are failing. This array will have to wait. Paris, take the helm. Find us a deuterium source. It's teaching me how to scan things. So, this is a procedurally generated system. So I scan with right click, and that is duranium. That is not what we're looking for right now. That is duranium. There we go. That's deuterium. Telling me how to do stuff. I'm gonna go to where there is deuterium by holding left click. We fly over there. And we have two options. We can do the easy one. See this bar at the top? How it changes? It's light green, which means normal success. Whereas this means there's a chance of dark green, which is extra success, or yellow, which is less success. So this is more risky, but potentially more reward. And this is more reliable. I'm going to do the reliable one for now. Part of me was tempted to do a challenge to see how fast I could get everyone killed. While it might be cathartic for me, I don't think it would be as entertaining. So let's just carry on. We got 528 deuterium. Continue. We can now deactivate gray mode. I love this idea that there's a low power mode. It doesn't quite make sense in the canon, but it works for the gameplay. Turn it on. Okay, we've got the first level of warp core energy. Continue. There was a Maquis vessel next to the array. Try hailing them. I don't think this does anything. No response. Scan for life signs. I just love scanning for life signs. There's no one on board. Scan the array. Several life forms on board. Is one of them Vulcan? Signals are weak. We have to repair the transporter room. We need duranium to repair the transporter room. Deuterium is the fuel that powers the warp drive. Duranium and tritanium are essential for construction and repair. So in the demo, there was no source of tritanium, so you couldn't repair past the basic stuff. And then crew is needed to operate key systems. Okay. So we've got Borg nanites, which will come up later. Bio-neural gel packs, which is like how the ship thinks. Science points for the tech tree. Dilithium. Mandatory for warp core upgrades, okay. Also used to construct shuttles, hire allied ships for combat, and advance in the tech tree. Cool. And then deuterium, that's what we run off of. That's what we use. That is sort of true, although we also need anti-hydrogen, I think. This is a turn, basically. Cycles are like the passage of time. Warp core energy. I'm not going to parse all that right now. We have batteries if we build batteries. Duranium is what we need to fix things. Tritanium is harder to find. We need it. And then there's food. That's pretty much everything. Okay. So we know that there's duranium. Nothing to reveal. Okay, let's go here. Max 40. Let's try the riskier one. We'll see how this works. It thinks. Lucky. Got 62 duranium. We now have all the duranium we need. Alright, now we repair. Yes, we repair the transporter room, which instantly happens. Doesn't usually happen instantly. Okay. Now, I would like to see if I can get started with anything else. I'm gonna get ahead of the tutorial and switch on life support. And then, what is that? That's the holodeck. Can I move it? Yeah, I can move it like that. That's the engineering office. We're gonna need this in a minute, so I'm gonna get ahead and start repairing. It's gonna take 2 cycles to repair, because you run down your deuterium for every cycle that you're powering the warp drive. So if we get the engineering team repairing the engineering office, I happen to know that's the direction we're going. And now we're gonna go to the caretaker array. Okay, we're going on an away mission. Away with you. And we only have 2 options. Tom and Harry. Start away mission. We select an approach and the hero to complete the challenge. And then it shows the success. Oh yeah, right, this part. They materialize in a cornfield for some reason. I don't think it's ever explained why they're in a cornfield. But anyway, so you have 2 options. You can look for footprints, or you can scan for life signs. Again, I just love scanning for life signs. But you select who is going to do those things, and in this case it's really cut and dry. Obviously, Tom can look for footprints, and Harry can look for life signs. I guess there's narrative implications for this, but for me, I just ended up looking at the bar. So, like, which approach you use... See, this doesn't contribute at all. Which approach you use, this is the success bar, and this is the failure part of the bar, and it's just, this is the percentage chance to succeed. And this is more likely than this is, so I don't know why I wouldn't just do this. So we're going to do this. We detect an energy spike. There's somebody strumming a banjo. And then after they do a thing, they're fatigued. So you have to like alternate who does things. How should we approach him? Very carefully. Demand to know what's going on. Try to read his body language. Or argue with facts that this can't be a farm on Earth. Let's do the one with the greatest chance to succeed. I think I might not be playing this game correctly. I think you're supposed to care about the story more than I do. The old man seems perplexed. They are early. It is not their turn yet. They can eat some corn cobs. We got some science points. We can select more than one hero for the required skill. We find a barn. So that is not very likely to succeed. That is moderately. But if we do 2 people, it's so likely that in fact we have a chance of critical success. So we will do that. But now they're both fatigued, I guess. And we got deuterium from that for some reason. Okay. I like that deuterium actually is a symbol that is relevant to, because deuterium is one proton, 1 neutron, and 1 electron. The barn is an illusion. There's a tattooed man and a half Klingon woman on surgical tables. This is an important decision. I don't think it is, but I will pretend that it is. So last time I woke up, see, there's a heartbeat to let us know that this is an important decision. They're both fatigued. Like, I think narratively, Chakotay is the one that they wake up. But, like, that has a chance of failure. This has a chance of critical success. So I don't know why I wouldn't do this. So we're gonna do this. Your choice has consequences. Harry sprints towards the half Klingon woman for some reason. The old man stops him. Everything goes blank. And we completed our mission. And we leveled up. Level 2. Continue. Tom Paris is now unavailable because he has been kidnapped. What happened on the array? I'm back at my chair. I'm back on Voyager. We lost contact with you for several hours. Where's Tom? Seems like he's still on the array. We're being hailed by the Maquis. B'Elanna is talking to us. I can still ram this wreck into your precious starship. Let's postpone the ramming until we're all accounted for. Does that sound reasonable? We're beaming over. Both sides remain weary. And then they just shoot everybody, and the show is just the story of B'Elanna running the ship. Continue. That's not an option, unfortunately. Okay. Glad to have you back, Tuvok. And the spy is revealed. I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate the Maquis. I never liked you, Vulcan. That is unsurprising. And let's focus on bringing Mr. Paris and your commander back. His name is Chakotay. They're sealed and their communications are cut off. Get down to engineering and find a way to bypass whatever's jamming our communications. Report back as soon as you have a solution. We require resources in the engineering office to mobilize additional workforces. Okay, it's telling me to do what I've already done. Yep, life support. Life support restored. Engineering office is now accessible. We'll have to fix it, yes. Repairs in progress. It would be logical to scan all planets in the system and gather more deuterium and uranium. That would be logical. Let's go get more duranium. Engineering office is repaired. We'll enter ship, turn it on. We now have an additional work team to carry out 2 tasks simultaneously. Obtain additional teams by building or upgrading engineering offices. We should now focus on Deck 2 in the mess hall to ensure the crew's food supply. So we have to activate life support. This is telling me about morale. So this is the morale bar. It's pretty high. There's 50 people who need food and 50 people who need housing, I think. Alright, let's turn on the life support on Deck 2. And the mess hall needs to be repaired. Repair the mess hall. Repairs in progress. And now we need to start building residential sections, like city skylines. So we're going to go into this ruined room and clear the debris. And we will collect more resources while we're waiting. That's exactly what we're here to do. Use standard mining procedure, because we don't have a science laboratory yet. This is our only option. Good, we got some deuterium. I'm not getting us... Sorry, duranium. I'm not getting us deuterium because the max capacity is 1,000 and we have 900, so it will end up wasting some. So let's get more duranium. How do I move the map? Yes, like this. Nothing new to reveal. What about you? More duranium. I keep saying the wrong thing. That's going to be a consistent thing where I'm going to say the wrong one. Let's go here. The mess hall is done. Enter ship. Turn it on. Mess hall repairs are complete. We should switch to replicator rations. You can always use emergency rations. They lower morale. You can consume premium rations made by the replicator. Those increase morale but consume deuterium. Let's switch to premium replicator rations. So this is minus 40 morale. This is plus 10. Okay. Still just tutorializing. What does this button do? Aha, right. This gives us a breakdown of everything so we can look at morale. So, there are 50 crew without quarters. Only 50 people survived the trip, by the way, which is different from the show. Although we never get an exact number, I don't think. Nobody's sick or injured. That's good. Premium replicator rations give plus 10 each cycle, but 50 crew without quarters is minus 40. So we're losing 30 morale every cycle. Crew. Available crew 27. Assigned crew 23. No ex-Borg. It's a bit of a spoiler. For 50 crew without quarters. And we have 1 available work team. Okay. And our heroes consist of these 4, and he's missing. Combat-wise, I haven't actually looked at this. Well, let's look at it another time. Alright, we have an available work team. So, let's clear that room next. And ruined room, enter ship. This got finished. Ruined room removal concluded. That was a little ruined room removal. Let's build some. We're just sleeping on the floor in the hallways or something. Select the empty building. So we're gonna select this. We're gonna go to crew. The only option is emergency quarters. Accommodates 12 crew in crammed quality, limited quality quarters. So it subtracts morale per cycle, but less than having no room at all. And it's a 2-slot room, so it fits right there. Each room requires personnel to operate, so keep this in mind when adding new rooms or upgrades. Okay, close. 2 Vox comms request. I have to press this button. The array's jamming signal has been neutralized. We should be able to establish communication. Hail the array. It's a blob. You don't have what I need, it says. It's the old man with the banjo. Now he's a blob. We mean you no harm. Your people are no longer here. You'll just have to leave them. Let's scan the array. I don't think this does anything. It says chance 100%, and it's optional, which means I can do it first. So I'll just do that. Scan the array. No humanoid life forms indicated at all. I'm not going to appeal to a blob's humanity. I'm going to let Balana talk. That way she feels included. It doesn't change anything mechanically, so... Listen here, you oversized jello. There isn't enough time. Time for what? You're stealing my time. I don't have time. Not enough time. That's how I feel about my creative projects. We've been cut off. Well, this time she's berating her. She's actually saying something different than she did when I did the tutorial and I chose the same option. Your ladyship. Perhaps a more logical approach would be beneficial. I agree. What do you suggest? I have observed that the array has been sending energy pulses toward the 5th planet of the neighboring system ever since our arrival. Investigating this planet appears to be the most logical next step. We work together and go our separate ways. You mean and then go our separate ways? Yes. Set a course for the 5th planet. Let's find our people. Set a course for the 5th planet in the neighboring system, maximum warp. Okay, sector map. Close. Since we just arrived at this planet, I'm going to finish getting the duranium. We filled up our duranium storage. Good. And we're right next to this planet, so let's go here. Risk to maneuver Voyager into the unknown of the cloud using the Buzzard collectors. Not to be confused with Buzzard collectors, which involve a lot more feathers going everywhere. Deploy collector probes for a safer though less efficient collection. Well, we're actually going to waste some of this regardless. So let's just do that. We don't need more. Yeah, lost due to full storage. So we filled up our deuterium storage. And now we can go to sector. And we're supposed to go here. Let's scan it. And then we can say we want to go specifically to Okampa. Okampa. And here we go. Oop, the ruined room. Let's get building more emergency quarters, please. And then the other one, the emergency quarters is done. Turn that on. And I feel like we're gonna need a sick bay soon. So let's get the work through repairing sick bay. Meanwhile, we're building more emergency quarters there. Sick bay is working. Repairing. Okay. That's online. What is this? The science laboratory. I don't think we need the science laboratory very much. We will want the phaser control room, so let's get repairing that. And these are all repaired. Turn this on. That is done. Do we have like a shield generator? Let's repair the shield generator. There we go. Then we can have shields. And meanwhile, we're gonna want the torpedo launch bay. I feel like we should get more crew quarters though. It's fine. We'll be fine. Repair the torpedo launch bay so that we have the option. And the shield generator is complete. Let's turn that on. Let's repair the science laboratory. See, we're getting so much done. There we go. We've arrived. We've reached our destination. Let's continue. What do we have here? A desert planet with a harsh, unforgiving landscape. Check the energy pulses. I recommend an away team investigate the area where the pulses are being targeted. And the interval between each pulse has decreased, so they're getting faster. We'd better hurry. Do a general scan of the planet. It has all the basic characteristics of an M-class planet, but no ocean, no river, nothing. However, there are settlements. Let's leave it at that. We don't have the option to do this. Strange, but intriguing. Prepare an away team. Oh no, yeah, right, here we go. This is why we repaired the phasers. I'm just kidding. Small ship is approaching. We're about to meet our first alien life from 70,000 light years away. What kind of... Well, no, I guess we met a blob first. So this will be our second alien life. I wonder how alien it will be. Peculiar alien with a mischievous grin. Perhaps an inhabitant of the Delta Quadrant. There he is. Looking for something on this dusty old rock? Would we find anything, Mr. Neelix? We've never... Oh, Mr. Neelix, you've never seen a ship like yours. You were whisked away from somewhere else in the galaxy and brought here against your will. Sounds as though you've heard this story before. The caretaker has been bringing ships here for months. That's what the Okampa call him. He probably snatched some of your crew, too. They're likely down on the planet with the Okampa. You could use a guide. A guide needs compensation. These pesky void voles have been nibbling away at my supplies. Some food and water would be most welcome. You can have all the food and water you want. It's a deal. Neelix recruited. Alright, so rebuild Voyager and explore the system or skip cycles until Neelix is ready to talk. We're going to want more deuterium in a sec, so let me make sure that we are... Yeah, we're repairing two things, so let's head this way. Torpedo launch bay is ready. Now these things do take power, so I am using more power than I otherwise would. Using more deuterium, I think. Is that how that works? It uses 6 energy and 5 crew. Energy, total amount 120, consumption 72, available 40. Yeah, okay, so we can absolutely keep using that. It doesn't increase the fuel flow. That is a function of tier 1. So warp core gives you 60 energy. Gray mode gives you 60 energy without any cost. Tier 1. What am I looking at here? Minus 24 for 120. What is this? Minus 1 for 5. I don't understand. Warp core integrity 120 out of 120. Well, that's good. We're gonna need the workshop. Oh, we need uranium, and we don't have it. So let's clear the ruined room. System. Science laboratory is now active. Let's clear this ruined room. This is science laboratory. Currently no research in progress. Here we go. Now we can research the tech tree. And what I would like to do from last time, what I found that I thought was interesting, was the plasma torch, which clearing ruined rooms gives plus 25% more resources, because we've been getting like duranium, yes, from clearing the rooms. I'd like to do that. Begin research. Close. I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. This isn't a strategy guide. I've never played this game before. What were we doing? Destroy the vessel and salvage the debris. That looks like it could go wrong. I'm going to be conservative in this run, I think. I don't think I'm on a hard enough difficulty that I have to take a lot of risk. Continue. Now we need... Oh. Research. A small but stable spatial anomaly. We can get scientific data. What about this? That is more deuterium that we don't need at this second, so let's go get some research. Conduct a detailed analysis. How could this go wrong? Scan the anomaly from a safe distance. Do the safe one. 20 science, whatever. There we go. There's duranium. Oh, I'm getting a message. What a delicious meal. A culinary masterpiece. Yes. It's called tomato soup. My Alfarian hair pasta bowl is widely known for its bold, mouth-watering taste. We need your assistance. Scan the southern continent. Look for a range of dead volcanoes. At their foot, you'll find a Kazon Ogla encampment. Kazon what? One Kazon sect of many. They control this part of the quadrant. They're a bit difficult, but with the right approach, even they can be reasoned with. The Okampa do have your people. Finding them is a bit tricky. My old pal, Maje Jobin, the Ogla leader, might know where to look. Ask for more information about the Kazon Ogla. Water is a precious commodity. A little liquid diplomacy would go a long way. Send the away team down. Very well. Prepare an away team. Okay, we're going on an away mission, but first I want to get this thing. We'll get there. I know we're trying to save our people, but we want some uranium. I keep saying the wrong one. Okay, continue. Alright, now we go to Okampa. The ruined room is repaired. Let's get a building, an emergency crew quarters right there. Good. Now we'll go to Okampa. We reached our destination. Let's send the away team. So Neelix has to come, and then we get a choice. I would like to send Ilana and Tuvok. I don't know that we need to, but that's what we have. The air is hot and dry. Sandy wind whips into their eyes. How do we get our bearings in this dust bowl? Nobody has this skill, so we have to do Tuvok. Struggle through to a vantage point. Confirm. That was close. They emerge into a ledge. In the distance, they spot the Kazon Ogla settlement. A massive sandstorm is approaching from the south. Who's that? Design an intelligent shelter to withstand the storm. Sure. I think that's better than any of these options. I don't want to exhaust multiple people, so let's just do Balana. With impressive efficiency, she swiftly constructs a wind-resistant shelter from the surrounding debris, all the while grumbling about the perceived incompetence of the Starfleet team. They set off in the direction of the Kazon Ogla settlement, and they get some duranium. Good. Talaxian, let Neelix do the introduction. Approach in typical Starfleet manner. Or approach intimidatingly. Let's do Talaxian. Confirm. The women and children seem to recognize him. Their expressions are skeptical rather than welcome. A tall Kazon emerges from the settlement. Jabin. In the background... Oh, what is that? Is that morale? In the background, a badly bruised woman who looks nothing like the Kazon, but more like a human with pointy ears appears around the corner. It must be an elf. Continue. How should we appease them? This is exactly the, I can tell you, a lot of the choices, having played through this, a lot of the choices, just you get exactly the same result no matter what. Assure them you have no bad intentions. He's fatigued. I don't think this is going to work very well. No. Demonstrate strength to keep the Kazon at bay. Or offer water. Yeah, let's just have Balana offer water. There's no chance of failure. Critical success. Fascinated by this technology, Jabin accepts the offer and becomes more receptive. He explains that the Ocampa live underground like mole people. Their access controlled by the caretaker, who also provides their only source of water. As proof, Jabin points to the bruised woman he is holding as a slave, an Ocampa. He explains that she is one of the few who have managed to reach the surface. Suddenly, Neelix grabs a phaser. He points it at Jabin and demands the Ocampa woman be freed. Sometimes certain approaches in away missions bear additional risks. Dangerous approaches are marked by a danger level. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Facing such a challenge can result in injuries or even fatalities. Let's see if we can get Neelix killed. Close. No. These are all risky. So we can appease and carefully withdraw, which is guaranteed to work for some reason. Tactical retreat, which is not guaranteed to work. Or retreat with phaser fire. Well, let's just do this. This is not going to fail. Your choice has consequences. I'm not sure it does. The away team raises their hands in a gesture of peace, slowly backing away while choosing their words carefully to calm the angry Kazon. Recognizes the away team's intelligent attempt to de-escalate the situation. His eyes burn with anger. Okay. We did it! Everybody leveled up. We are now level 2. Continue. More than gratitude. Okay. They kiss passionately. How deep does the relationship between the two go? Continue. He saved Kess. You lied and endangered my crew. This is not how trust is built, Mr. Neelix. He was desperate, Captain, but I understand. I want to repay you and your crew for saving me. The access to the underground city is controlled by the caretaker. There is a tunnel, but the caretaker sealed it with a security barrier. We may be able to transport through the barrier if it has the slightest breach. A transporter signal amplifier would be necessary. Tess, can you help us once we've located the breach? It's the least I can do. She's very helpful. Now, what does Kess know about the caretaker? For generations, he has provided the Ocampa with food, water, energy, and protection from the outside world. Why he does it or where does he come from? We have stories and legends about him, but they're just stories and legends. Okay, well, that's why you called them stories and legends. Let's ask Kess why she came to the surface. I felt a strong pull to explore the world beyond. I yearned for the freedom to discover new things and learn about myself. Once we possessed telepathic abilities, but these atrophied over many generations. How did Kess and Neelix meet? How did you two meet? I met Kess while I was trading with the Kazon Ogla. They enslaved her, but she was kind even to someone like me. I had to get her out. I admit I used you, Captain. I apologize, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat. We have things to do. Someone get started on that transporter signal. And somebody, hopefully somebody, will go to sickbay and have you examined. The science lab is back online. We can start researching the signal amplifier. Yeah, I got ahead of the story. Okay. Initiate emergency medical holographic program. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. You have to take care of sickbay and this patient. I am capable of treating any injury or disease. Do my best, Captain. I am programmed for optimal medical care. What else would I do? Okay. Why is there a question mark here? Oh, that's the science laboratory. Okay. It's still doing that. We're going to have to switch to the transporter signal amplifier. And then this is building, this is removing. That's everything that I can do right now. System. No, wait, that's not what it was. Okay, let's see what these things have for us. I think we're more short on duranium than anything else. Actually, no, our max capacity is only 100, so we could go get deuterium, I guess. Let's go get deuterium. Sorry, this says duranium. What? Oh, because I need to click on this. Okay, yes. Construction report, ruined room. Ready. Let's build another emergency crew quarters right there. Okay. Signal amplifier is done. The blueprints for the signal amplifier are complete, however, we need to start production. Oh, we need to repair the workshop. Okay, right. Alright, let me take somebody off this task. Let's pause, and you repair this. Meanwhile, we can get back to our... Yeah, it automatically went... That's great. It automatically went back to the plasma torch. So this is the stuff I like. It's the story I get complaining about. Okay. R, research. We're already doing that. Yes. Okay. What was I doing? This. Let's... Well, we can't even use this much, so let's do this. There we go. And then let's fly over here. It's still telling me to click on research. What does it want me to do? Oh, that's where I am. I think it's just going to be mad at me because I started research early. Let's go this way. Emergency quarters and workshops are repaired. Let's get play on that one. Let's finish repairing this. We can start production of the signal amplifier. 3 cycles remaining. These little, there they are. I love this ant farm stuff. I just find that really cool. How is our crew situation going? We still have 14 quarterless crew. So this will do 12 of them. So we need 1 more. Okay. We come across an abandoned mining station. Okay, let's safely search. Continue. And then I think we can go to Akampa next, because we're going to be ready to go there in a sec. Trying to be efficient. Emergency quarters. Signal amplifier has been completed. Make haste, make haste. Only my wife is going to get that reference. Open that. Let's clear the ruined room. And we've arrived. Return later. Send an away team. Cass has to go. Let's send Balana because she otherwise she'll feel left out. And then Tuvok or Harry. Tuvok or Harry. They both have science. He has more science. Are we expecting to have a firefight? That's really the question, because he's the only one with a phaser. I think Harry and Balana duplicate each other too much, so I'm going to send Tuvok. Group of Kazon is already there. They reach for their weapons. They're still ready to attack. Show of force. Raise your weapons. That's an option. That is going to succeed. Or attempt to... That is not going to succeed. Or... Oh my god, that is going to succeed so well. Use the transporter module to make a harmless object appear, causing a distraction. Interesting. But we might need you in a second, so let's do this one. They are unsure whether to risk a confrontation and eventually back down. We've reached the tunnel entrance. Okay, use the amplifier to locate breaches in the barrier. That's guaranteed to succeed, so let's just do that. We got some science. They successfully transport through the opening. Beyond the barrier, the tunnel opens into a breathtaking sight. Embedded in a large cabin is a futuristic environment with smooth white walls glowing in warm white light and sprinkled with patches of green. This is the Ocampa City. We're inside the Ocampa City, but it's a maze of streets and chambers. How should we proceed to find Tom and Chakotay? Let Cass lead the search. They find the people surrounded by strange medical. Chakotay instinctively reaches for a weapon, but before any confrontation, the ground starts to shake. Is that morale? I think that's morale. I don't know why we're getting morale from this. The joy of the reunion. He just drew a weapon. The caretaker array has apparently repositioned itself and is now firing at the tunnel entrance. We need to get out of here. Tuvok is the only one who can do this. So... this one is guaranteed to work. Let's do that. They use phasers to blast away debris. They dodge falling styrofoam rocks and collapsing ceilings, ensuring everyone escapes safely. Soon they reach the exit, the security barrier, the only thing standing between them and their escape. Connection is... there's interference. We can't beam out like this, so we can stabilize... Oh my god, she's so good at this. Last time I had to, like, have people team up. This is just... Balana just completely got everything under control. However, there is rewards for this one, so hang on a second. Let's think about this. If I have Cass help, then we can potentially get rewards. Let's get all of them. Let's get extra rewards. Yeah, we got some science points. I sort of gamed the system because I knew that was the end of the mission. Good, we've continued to level up. Back on Voyager, Tom Paris breathes a sigh of relief while Chakotay eyes his Starfleet rescuers with suspicion. The Maquis commander struggles to understand the sudden alliance. I'm Captain Catherine Janeway, and Mr. Paris, it's good to have my pilot back. I'm Commander Chakotay of the Maquis. Torres, what's going on here? Short version, we're stuck with the Federation sycophants in the Delta Quadrant. We're going to try to get back home. Ask if they learned about the Ocampa. Naive, friendly, they don't get out much, because they wouldn't survive if they got out. Apparently, they've been living underground for longer than anyone can remember. Ancient journals tell us the caretaker opened a deep chasm and led us underground. They mentioned a warming the day our surface turned into a desert. On that day, the caretaker appeared and built our city. Since then, he has provided for the Ocampa. How selfless of him. We do not believe this to be a selfless act, Captain. The caretaker's interest on the Ocampa is illogical. There must be a reason, though it eludes me for now. Ask if they learned anything about the caretaker. He's been acting out of the ordinary lately, abducting people. And he increased their power supply to half a decade. I think that means they have like 5 years of stored energy to... Sounds like he's preparing for something. Why were they sent to Ocampa? We woke up covered in scabs. The Ocampa said we were sent away to prevent some kind of plague. We weren't sick before. Others with the same disease died. I want you both in sickbay now. Their condition is unusual. It appears to be a cellular disruption caused by the introduction of foreign genetic material, a cellular peptide cake. Their bodies are rejecting it rather violently. A few more days and the cellular disruption would have been fatal. Okay. Foreign genetic material? For what purpose? Excellent question, Commander. Appears to have been introduced deliberately, though why anyone would want to inject them with incompatible DNA is beyond my comprehension. With my expertise, they should make a full recovery. Alright, there's enough evidence to form a reasonable hypothesis. The caretaker provides the Ocampa with a mere 5 years' worth of energy, then destroys the access tunnel. He frequently mentioned running out of time. The caretaker has sustained the Ocampa for millennia. The sudden urgency. The conclusion is that he does not intend to continue his role as caretaker. The caretaker is enacting measures to safeguard the Ocampa for as long as possible. They will run out of energy eventually, so he seeks a successor, someone who holds the key to their survival. A compatibility with the caretaker's DNA. This explains the abduction and subsequent testing of individuals from various sectors. I believe that the caretaker is dying. We have to return to the array before it's too late, and then he dies and we can't get home. Given the caretaker's reluctance to cooperate, a more assertive approach may be necessary. The Vulcans are right. If that overgrown energy blob won't send us home, we'll have to blast our way out. Shields first, then phasers. Our offensive and defensive capabilities have been restored, Captain. We already did that, Captain. We did that while you weren't paying attention. To verify system functionality to assess our temporary flight control officers. Okay, we're going to get a combat tutorial. Tuvok is right. We need to test our combat systems, but we lack a sparring partner. You have one. Our ship. All the Maquis on Valjean is Starfleet target practice. What could possibly go wrong? I will pilot the Valjean, Captain. Just remember to set your phasers to simulation. Alright, we're going to have a quick combat encounter, and then I'm going to take a break. Select hero. We want Tom for evasive maneuvers. We want... It doesn't tell us what their options are. Rousing speech. I think we're going to want shield hacking and coordinated attack. Alright, so it does the fighting for me, but I make...
What are your orders, Captain?
Choices here. So let's go to orders. Close. We're going to attack their shields.
Moving to attack the port side, Captain.
And then we're going to toggle pause. Once we start firing, I'm going to hit shield hacking. Yeah, it's telling me.
Ability ready, Captain. Ability ready, Captain. Enemy shields destroyed, Captain.
Okay. In position. There we go. We're shooting the right one. Nobody's
Enemy
shooting
shields
back
destroyed,
at us.
Captain.
Okay, we're getting them. We're on the wrong side. In position. There we go. Let's do whatever Tuvok's is. Oh, we're out of range, I think. Victory! Victory on a biosurvey mission. Hull status 59%. Proceed. We didn't take any damage. Okay, your methods were unconventional. However, you just kind of drove in circles. However, the objective was achieved, an acceptable performance. The Valjean should be in a support position for Voyager. Have the transporter room standing by in case your crew needs an emergency beam on it. Alright. We're going to show the quadrant what we're made of. Let us fill up on uranium. What's going on in the ship, by the way? We're building that. We're building that. I keep calling duranium to deuterium and like I know clearly what they are, but I keep saying the wrong one. All right, enter ship. Clear that because we will want that later. Oh, cool. Enter ship. We finished the plasma torch. So we could do a battery compartment. What is inspired workforce? High morale threshold. Bonuses are increased by 20%. That seems good. Science. Increase XP gain for heroes in away missions by 10%. That's good. Combat. Hull reinforcement. Yeah, we'll want that eventually. Increase morale gain after one combat by plus 50 morale. 14 cycles. 14. Yeah, it's 14 no matter what. Let's increase XP gain for heroes on away missions. I don't know what XP does exactly, but I feel like that's the most important thing, because the away missions are the only place where people can die, other than combat. Alright. System... What has happened? Let's do that. Something has bugged out, but that's okay. Continue. We got some... Good. We got some deuterium. Now we're going to fly back to the caretaker array. Okay, ruined room. Ready. What else can we repair? Can we repair anything else, or do we require... Yeah, we don't have what we need for that. We don't have what we need. We don't have what we need. No. 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 Yeah, they all require that. Aero shuttle. So, not much we can do. Is there anything we can build? We can't build that. We could build a science laboratory, but we don't have the resources. Hydroponics is locked. We could build another engineering office. Provides up to +1 work team. Okay, well that could be good. Yeah, let's do that. We can get more done. Alright, ruin room. Enter ship. This is done. We are going to need more crew quarters, because I happen to know we're going to get more crew in a sec, so let's get that building. And here we are. Emergency quarters are done. Enter ship. That's done. I don't think my work crews can do anything else. Oh, wait. No, we can do this. Clear that. Clear that room. Yeah. Engineering offices. Enter ship. Turn that on. Okay, now we have even more work crews. There we go. Just blasting through this. I hope we get tritanium soon, because that's why we can't open up the other decks, is we don't have tritanium stuff. Close. Ruined room. Enter ship. Done. I don't think there's anything that we can build right now, so we'll just sit on that. We've arrived. Oh my god. Okay, close. Alright, so now we've arrived back at the caretaker array. This is the end of the story. I have to step away. I'll be right back, and we'll finish this out in a sec. Okay, I went away to eat breakfast, and whatever save point happened last was not the last thing I did, so I'm gonna have to replay something. How much did we lose? We lost a bit. I'll play through this real quick and try to do the same thing I did a minute ago, and I'll catch up. Okay, I think I've caught up with where I was. Not sure what I need to build. Can I do anything else? I think one of my work crews is just gonna have to sit idle because I don't remember what I was doing. Let's just arrive. Close. Alright, we've arrived. Let's talk to Caretaker and finish this episode. We've reached our destination. Let's continue. Now the Kazon are here. The big Kazon are here. The lead ship is hailing us. That was confusing. He's not the Kazon. They're probably not calling the chat. I'll have our Maquis Raider manned. You'll have support if this turns into a fight. Let's see what the Kazon have to say. Do you have any barbers or hairstylists aboard your ship? We are in desperate need. Alright. All we care about is getting home, Jab, and we'll beam over to the array and see if we can arrange that. Fancy speech. I have no dispute with you. Yeah, they're very adamant that because I used an option that involved talking instead of fighting, they're just kind of adamant that I like to talk. The array's power is mine. Battle stations. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, keep these same people. There's a carrier, support vessel, and support vessel. Now, I had some trouble selecting which ship I wanted to attack the last time I did this, so I'm just going to try to go with the flow. Orders. I can't select, like... No, orders. Right? Pause. Hang on. I said orders. Now I can't give orders. I didn't give any orders. We're just doing nothing. See, I don't have any... I can't click on this. E. There we go. E for orders. Offensive actions. Let's take out their shields.
Moving to attack the port side, Captain. Ability ready, Captain.
Let's... once we're in the right position...
Ability ready, Captain.
Let's evade. No reason not to evade. It's chaos. It's chaos, Captain. And we have torpedoes as well. I have to fire them manually. Shift key. All right, so we're only going to shoot them.
Enemy shields destroyed, Captain.
All right, hang on. Let's target the front.
Moving to attack the front, Captain.
So that we can fire our torpedoes.
Ability ready, Captain.
There we go.
Enemy is surrendered, Captain.
Okay, combat is paused. Enemy has surrendered. That's fantastic. We're still gonna blow them up in a minute because that's what's in the script, but... offensive actions... shields.
Moving to attack the starboard side, Captain.
They've surrendered. We're targeting them, but it's taking us a while to get there. I'm not really sure what's happening. Oh, this is showing where the enemy is relative to my ship. That's helpful. And this is showing where Voyager is relative.
Destroyed, Captain.
Victory! We didn't take any damage. That's because I'm on normal difficulty, I think. And because it's the first battle. You can hire allied ships on the bridge to help in combat. Only one ally may help at a time. Once unlocked, they will be available for the rest of the game. Interesting. I don't think the Maquis Raider is going to be available for the rest of the game, though. Oh. We saved it. Oh, that's cool. I know I really apologize. I sound like I hate this game. That is not the case. I've just played this tutorial already. We actually saved the Maquis Raider. Last time it went and blew itself up, ramming into the other ship. Our Raider is still in good shape. I'll keep it close by just in case more Kazon decide to show up. That's great. We've got an extra ship. We're already in the better timeline. You are strong, Captain, but there is strength in numbers. I have called for reinforcements. This array will be mine. Yes. Cartoons. Hail the array. Yes. Jello. Send us back. Impossible. I have barely enough strength to complete my work. The Kazon will steal the Okampa's water and they won't be able to survive. You must let go of the Okampa. I don't know that he needs to let go of the Okampa. It's not going to work anyway, because optional never does anything. Let's just say send us home. Jabin wasn't bluffing. His reinforcements have arrived. Don't interrupt me! Okay, I could try to access the array system to transport us to the Alpha Quadrant, Captain. Time is up. If you leave, the array will be left to the Kazon. They will annihilate the Okampa. You must destroy it. We'll be stranded. Protect the Okampa. The caretaker fades away, collapsing into an inert crystalline form. That's what happens when you leave Jello in the cabinet for too many years. Return home to the Alpha Quadrant, leaving the Okampa defenseless, or sacrifice Voyager's return to ensure their safety. Well, we know what we have to do, because otherwise the game literally ends. Which is pretty funny. I think that it's actually possible. Somebody said that it's actually possible to return home, and then you can arrest Chakotay. That's what somebody said online. But I want to keep playing the game, so we're going to destroy the array, stranding us in the Delta Quadrant. Your choice has consequences. Ready the Tricobalt devices. I can and I will. Ready, Captain. Fire. I don't remember why they were carrying Tricobalt devices. It was just so that they could do this, and then they never had them ever again. We'll find another way home. Recalculating. I guess they don't say that anymore. I wonder, how old do you have to be to remember GPS voice? Who do you think you are? It was the right decision, B'Elanna. Okay, the Okampa deserved blah blah blah. 70,000 light years. We really are stranded, aren't we? Well, Kess isn't. Oh, I forgot there was a console over here. They never really used it. I guess sometimes somebody sat there, but I forgot there was a console over here on the bridge. Now I'll definitely missed parole review. They're just bantering. Jabin is hailing us. You have made an enemy today. Put some distance. Voyager's hull can be damaged in combat. Dialogues, spatial phenomenon, or if the navigational deflector is offline. If the hull integrity reaches 0, Voyager will be destroyed and the game is over. Hull doesn't regenerate by itself. To repair the hull, assign a work team in the engineering office. Okay, what is it telling me here? 1, engineering office. 2, asteroid field. 3, plasma storm. 4, navigation deflector offline. So it's telling me how to read it. Okay, close. Okay, it autosaved. That's good to know. That's good to remember that the autosave happened. I think this is a good spot to end the first episode because I feel like it's been an hour or more. And it just autosaved, which is good. So it's going to tell us to go to the next sector. But I assume we will get more sectors after this, unlike in the demo. Ship-wise, we've got some rooms open, but these work crews are a little bit confused. I don't know how to assign a work crew to repair the hull, but I will figure that out next time. If you've been watching, thank you very much. I will make one more of these and see how it does on the channel, unless y'all hate this, which is a distinct possibility. And there'll be more Kerbal coming in the coming weeks, I promise. Thank you very much for joining. Live long and prosper, and have a good one. Bye-bye.